Chapter 52. Throwing it out. Remy Burnett and Martina Burnett were both sitting in the car with helpless faces. "Mum, no matter what, that's also Grandpa." Hearing Martina Burnett say that, Frida Burnett's directly rolled her eyes. What's wrong with Grandpa? To put it bluntly, is also a blind and heartless bad old man? Frida Burnett's, although the previous time in the Burnetts all the way to please Kier Burnett's, that is all for the sake of life, helplessly bowed. But all these years down to say that she really does not have a grudge against Kier Burnett's, that is certainly a lie. What kind of virtue is he? You do not know? Usually he likes Warwick Burnett's family. The family has already bullied us into what kind? You're the only ones who don't have a brain, and you're still shouting Grandpa every day. You're a mess, Frida Burnett sneered. I'll be honest with you, I just like to see him suffer. They suffer. The harder they eat, the happier I am. Frida Burnett's was overjoyed to see the Burnetts standing on their hands and knees in front of the schoolyard where Caleb Guy King's inauguration ceremony was taking place. "Clarence Lester, did you do this too?" Frida Burnett's kicked the driver's seat in front of her. Even Martina Burnett looked at him with a surprised face. Clarence Lester just shook his head and explained with a smile. "Because that special VIP viewing invitation for Caleb Guy King's inauguration ceremony was indeed something I got. I specifically asked my former friends in the military to go get it for me. But since they didn't admit it at that time, I directly told my friends in the army to cancel the special VIP invitation for Caleb Guy King's inauguration ceremony. That's why it's in the state now." "Great, so it's really you who got it. I didn't see that coming. You really have some reliable fox friends." Frida Burnett slapped her hand and pointed at the Burnett's people in the car and laughed without a care in the world. And okay. The Burnetts have no eyes, bastard," and said the Caleb Guy King's inauguration of the special VIP viewing invitations. "Are us to claim credit? I pooh. But what's all this talk about it being the work of the Collins and Jessica Collins? Ha! This is their hard work?" Frida Burnett's was furious about it. What an eyesore. They deserve to be thrown out. She slapped the back of the driver's seat hard. "Clarence Lester, what are you waiting for? Come on, let's drive up and laugh at them. Clarence Lester, don't follow Mum around." Martina Burnett stopped Clarence Lester as soon as she could. Clarence Lester waved his hand indifferently. "Oh, it's okay. It's just as well we're going over there." With that said, Clarence Lester gave Martina Burnett another look. "What? You don't want to go inside the schoolyard where Caleb Guy King's inauguration is taking place? Do you really have an idea?" Martina Burnett looked at Clarence Lester with some surprise. After all, Martina Burnett was a little surprised by the way the Burnetts had ended up just now. "Let's go." With a kick of the gas pedal, Clarence Lester's car drove straight to the entrance of the schoolyard where Caleb Guy King's inauguration ceremony was held. In fact, while on the road, Remy Burnett still tried to convince Frida Burnett's. "I think we should forget it. You see, they have also been punished. Besides, Dad was looking out for the family at the time." Frida Burnett slapped him on the head with annoyance. "What's the count? Look at your own pussyfooting around. No wonder you're being ridden by others to shit and piss on your head. You can't eat this loss, but I can't stand it. Cut the crap. If you keep being so stubborn, do you believe I'll throw you down?" Remy Burnett looked helpless and dodged to the side, shutting his mouth and not daring to speak. The Burnetts were standing at the entrance to the schoolyard where Caleb Guy King's inauguration ceremony was held when they suddenly saw a black car drive in from outside. The car should be hanging license plates where no license plates, but instead hung a black mask. Looks a bit hideous. The familiar vehicle was instantly recognizable to the people of the Burnetts. "Hey, if it's not Clarence Lester and his car, how did they get here? It can't be that they came here on purpose to cause trouble, right? Grandpa, look at this." Hearing the Burnetts people talking like this, the Kier Burnetts, who were already a little bit confused, became even more annoyed. "What's all the noise?" He looked over with a sullen face. He saw Frida Burnett's car and Frida Burnett's who sat inside the car and deliberately rolled down the car glass and waved towards them. Kier Burnett's immediately angry heart, liver, spleen, lungs, and kidneys are hurting. Since this group of unlucky people came, they, the Burnetts, have never had a good day. How can they live? As they watched Clarence Lester's iconic car pull up in front of them, the Burnetts unanonymously vented their anger on Frida Burnett's. "Frida Burnett's? Why are you so shameless? How dare you have the cheek to come along? That's right. You've already been kicked out of the family, and you're still so shameless. You have no shame at all." The Burnetts people collectively denounced the Frida Burnett's family on a daily basis, and deliberately yelled loudly to let everyone know that Martina Burnett and the others had been expelled from the family. This, if put in the previous, Frida Burnett's more or less will still be a little weak, and may even go up to apologize to please. But now the situation is different. This morning the Burnetts, that's some action, really cold Frida Burnett's heart. She felt that if their pensions, entrusted to such a group of wolf-hearted, cold-hearted, and hard-hearted guys, they have to starve to death sooner or later. After thinking about it, Frida Burnett's face, the Burnett's gang bottom, is more adequate. Of course we have to come. If we don't come, how can we see you being driven out like a dog? Frida Burnett's looked at these people, contemptuously, with a face full of condescension. Now you know who is loser? Where is the person who went through the trouble of getting you special VIP invitations to Caleb Guy King's inauguration ceremony? Where's the young man you've been talking about every day? Shout out! Frida Burnett's tone was full of provocation. Tell him to come out. Let him explain to them how he got this special VIP invitation to Caleb Guy King's inauguration ceremony. Frida Burnett's this gun with a stick of words to Kier Burnett's angry chest heaving violently. Next to Warwick Burnett, frightened, rushed to Grandpa, smoothed the air. Dad, you don't want to get angry with them.